Torque stickies with bleed has to be one of the most absurd things in Borderlands 4 right now. Bleed was finally fixed to have correct interactions, but I can promise you it is still very much a meta build. Buck here, and today let's go over the sticky bleed build. We're going to be on Vex, and we're going to mainly be on Green Tree. I just want to add that I finally put together a Blue Tree minion Vex build, and it will be the video I do after this one. With that said, let's jump right into the Green Tree and where we're going to toss our points. Green Tree gives us Eldritch Blast as our action skill, which serves no purpose on this other than giving us damage buffs while it is active, so be sure to pop it prior to bossing. Gonna start our Green Tree off with 5 points into Leeching Attunement, which grants us 10% lifesteal and 25% reload speed while Incarnate is active and we are holding a kinetic weapon. Heading down with 5 points into Bloodletter for a 50% chance to apply bleed on critical hit, which can stack up to 20 times and last for 4 seconds. Bleed is considered kinetic damage and affected by status effect as well. Over to the right is 5 points into Grave Implements because we are going to be set up so that our kill skills can activate on critical hit and not just a kill. Grave Implements gives us up to 60% gun damage for 10 seconds, and we're pairing that with 3 points into Grave Power so that our kill skills max stacks go up by 3, giving Grave Implements a 120% gun damage buff. Over to the right from there is 5 points into Target Prescience to give us a 15% crit hit chance against any part of an enemy. This helps a ton with mobbing. Moving down to our bottom columns with 5 points into Drink Full for a stacking buff to our rate of fire whenever we deal gun damage. And heading down to 5 points into Mortal Terror for a 5% chance to activate kill skills per critical hit. Moving over to the bottom right column with 5 points into Ars Arcana, which grants a huge 45% extra skill damage buff, and skill damage affects the strength of our bleed. Down from there with 5 points into Essence Leech for 10% lifesteal and 20% lifesteal if our action skill is active, and last for the Green Tree is 3 points into Blood is Power, which gives us bonus kinetic damage based on lifesteal when health is full. You don't need a Capstone for this setup, and Augment is going to be Energy Vampire, which deals status effect damage to nearby enemies over time and grants an overshield for each enemy affected. Super nice for mobbing. Energy Vampire also comes with a kill skill that is activated when we crit, which gives us stacks of increased status effect damage while our action skill is active. This is great for bossing as it just ramps up bleed damage even more. Last 3 points are going to go over to the Blue Tree into Idle Hands for 30% extra reload speed when at full health. Specializations for this build are going to be the best defense for 30% extra damage whenever we're at full health, which should be quite literally always. Riddle You This for a stacking 50% gun damage bonus. In the Zone for a stacking 25% gun damage and 25% crit damage bonus whenever we ADS our weapon, and I am a gun so that action skill damage will benefit from gun damage. This also affects skill damage, which will buff our bleed. Firmware for this build is going to be 3 Deadeye for 30% accuracy, 25% extra crit damage, and a stacking 75% crit damage bonus per critical hit. Other 2 pieces of firmware are going to be 2 pieces of high caliber for a 10% multiplicative gun damage bonus. Gear for this build is going to be the Shiny Warpaint Rep Kit for 30% buffs to both rate of fire and movement speed on use, and we'll be pairing it with Enrage for 30% more damage output on use as well. This build's base critical hit chance is under 30%, so Ordnance will be the Penetrator Augment Knife for 30% crit chance on use. This will also make the enemy you hit with the knife take 15% more damage from all sources. Class mod is going to be a Purple Rending Scion class mod, and the God roll will have a +5 to Bloodletter and a +2 to Drink Full with triple damage rolls like damage dealt, gun damage, and kinetic damage. The shield is going to be the Timekeeper shield for a buff to our overall health pool. With this build, more health equals more damage, so Timekeeper shield is the play. And lastly, you will want to match your enhancement to the type of weapon you mainly use. The bot is still the best in slot for sticky magazines, so I am using a Deadalus enhancement with Accelerator. There are other great options for stickies too, like Burt's Bees or the Chaosin. If you main either of those, just be sure to put on a Vladoff enhancement with at least Bullet Hose on it. Which brings us to weapons. Like I said earlier, best in slot sticky is going to be a ceramic bod rolled with an amp shield and SMG firing mode. Hyperion amp shield will amplify your damage if your gun shield takes damage, and SMG mode is going to give us the best RPM. You could pretty much use any kinetic ceramic bod roll and be just fine too. Other sticky options to go for would be the Burt's Bees Vladoff SMG or the Chaosin Vladoff SMG. The Hotslugger and 7 cents also work great for mobbing. Playloop for this build is going to be pop action skill on boss to apply all the buffs you get while Incarnate is active, pop rep kit for increase in rate of fire and damage, throw knife at boss, and mag dump your sticky weapon. Just a reminder that this entire video is timestamped if you feel like you missed something or want to jump around. If you like this video, be sure to hit that thumbs up, subscribe, and turn those notifications on. See you next time.